No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Don't say!
What's up, everyone? We are live. Raiders of Lost Flicks is live again. We watched some bad movies this week, and we're about to talk to them. And I'm joined. My name is Adam Skywalker. How you doing, Sal?
Hi, Adam. I'm Sal Skywalker. How you doing, Pete?
Hi, Sal. I'm Pete Skywalker. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Pete, I'm Alex Skywalker.
So now that all the Skywalkers are present, let's talk about some terrible movies that we watch. I don't know. Do we want to talk about any news or anything like that? What we got in the comments here? Hey, Tony Tone Deaf is joining us live in the chat section. How you doing, buddy? Tony Tone Deaf says, my two favorite subjects, dinosaurs and religion. Finally, society has found a way to make them work together in harmony. Well, you might want to taper your expectations. And hey, here's one channel that Flare X hasn't been banned from.
God damn it, Flare X.
Welcome back, Flare X. Glad to have you with us.
Pete, Pagan Pete.
God damn it.
I posted a poll earlier on my website. We're gonna pull that up and look at it here in a second. Which one of these movies did you think beat us down the most? Like, which was the worst one? And as you can see, I have an overwhelming for Velocipastor. So I think we'll probably lead off with that one since that's the one that's being most talked about right now. Oh, Tony Tonedale says the Skywalker family tree must be a single branch. Well, it's definitely not an olive branch.
Are they from West Virginia?
West Virginia, country mama. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So anyways, so the whole watching the Velocipastor was Sal's idea. So Sal, why don't you tell us about Velocipastor?
Lord, forgive me for what hell hath wrought upon the earth with Velocipastor. Someone had posted it in the world class group, and I was like, that'd be perfect. Not having watched it, I vouched for it and was like, let's watch this for Friday.
Yay!
And it took me no exaggeration. It took me 5 attempts to make it through that dumpster fire of a movie. And I'm talking. So I think Alex is the odd man out on this.
I'm the only one I enjoyed. Even though it was so terrible, I just enjoyed how terrible it was.
Oh, Alex, you're so stunning and brave.
I fucking hated it.
Yeah,
I did too.
I mean, that movie gave no fucks, man.
I fucking hate it.
There we go. Somebody just unmuted the thing.
That was me.
Yep.
But so the Velocipastor, to give a quick synopsis, and I can probably explain it better than the movie does. There's the movie poster. And unfortunately, the graphic art on that poster is much better than anything else you get in the movie.
Oh yeah,
a
That's
pastor. So the movie starts off, and he witnesses the murder of his parents with a missing VFX shot. They literally did that, and to me, I turned it off right then because I was like, I'm all about movies that are so bad that they're good, like The Room or Hard Ticket to Hawaii or Miami Connection, Samurai Cop, because those movies had heart and spirit. They were giving it their all and trying to be a good movie, and they just fell flat and were awful. This movie is bad on purpose because they want to be like those movies, and it comes off cheesy and just cash grabby. Like, oh, let's do this. Maybe we'll be the next Room, and it's like, no, you're not. Like, even like Sharknado or Piranha 3D tries harder than this.
But even if you wanted to be a cash grabby, would you really want to rip off of something like Samurai Cop to make cash? Because the whole point of Samurai Cop is it never made any cash. They didn't have enough cash to finish the movie.
That's exactly like that.
Same thing with Miami Connection. It didn't find its audience till like 20-some years after it came out or something like that.
Exactly. Now, so this movie, starts off on the wrong foot with that. And after that, he goes to find himself in China, which is very clearly, the woods behind someone's house.
Yes,
And,
the local heroin park. Yeah.
exactly. So he goes there, gets a very clearly plastic dinosaur tooth, I guess, which is way too large to be a velociraptor tooth, but that's neither here nor there. Inherits the powers to turn into a velociraptor, but not at will, only like the Hulk when he becomes angry. And chaos ensues. He gets tied up with a hooker and this kind of drug cartel with ninjas that just, speaking gibberish Chinese, and it's oh god. I need to fucking
We
break.
were beaten down by this movie, folks.
Can I just say the best line in the entire movie is you call me Freddie Mermaid because I'm swimming in pussy.
Yeah.
Women and bitches. Yeah.
Freddie,
Swimming in bitches, whatever.
Freddie the Mermaid was easily the best part of the movie,
yeah.
and he's in it for
Oh,
5
God.
fucking minutes. Let me see if I can find his picture.
How about his?
Freddie Mermaid was the best part of that movie because you can tell that he was an actor that maybe he was in on it, like he knew it was going on, but he still gave it his all in that role.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that killed me the second time watching it was the laughing scenes where they keep laughing and laughing and laughing. It's like we get it, like it's not. They tried too hard. That's all it is.
It was almost like a parody of itself. It was
Okay,
so fucking
a
bad.
good lesson has been learned by all this because I watch bad movies. I enjoy bad movies. I guarantee I've seen more bad movies than any of you. All right, and that's not really bragging. It's kind of like more like hi, my name's Adam, I'm an alcoholic kind of thing. All right, so my name's Adam and I like to watch bad movies. I like to abuse myself physically and mentally. But in my opinion, when you see
keyboard is your own business.
when you see a bad movie, I feel like something is owed to you. Like if you're going to voluntarily watch something with a title like Velocipastor, and when you first start watching it and you realize that there's literally a scene where there's just text on a screen that says visual effect shot, enter visual effect shot here. I feel like you at least owe me graphic violence.
Mm-hmm.
Or boobs, or both, or give me really sharp, witty comedy, which is something that we experienced from Avocado Jungle. Cannibal Women, the Avocado Jungle Death is a very intelligent written comedy masquerading as a cheesy horror movie, or cheesy exploitation movie, I should say. Velocipastor fails at all of those things, gives you none of that. I mean, yes, it has blood. Yes, it has a little bit of language. There's a love scene in this movie that's like 10 minutes long. They're in their underwear.
Oh yeah, it was sexy, man. It was
Now,
sexy.
if you don't want to take the clothes off, I get it. Don't do the love scene. Cut that scene out. Okay, don't even do it at this point because you're insulting your audience. Also, the girl that's the prostitute friend of the pastor in this movie. Yeah, the pastor has a prostitute friend because why not, right?
Because
Special
plot.
lady friend.
Yeah, she is
hooker with a heart of gold.
I've seen my share of hookers in my days. All right? She is way too cute to be a prostitute.
She has all of her teeth. She doesn't have any pock marks.
See, it kind of made me think of Pretty Woman.
This is an escort.
Yeah, that's the Hollywood version of what a
It's the Pretty
prostitute
Woman
really
one.
is.
This is an escort, not a hooker.
The real prostitutes look more like the prostitutes in Breaking Bad. Like they're missing some of their teeth, they can barely walk straight, and they've had a rough night.
The real prostitutes look like Bogan.
The real prostitutes are with
Real
Bogan.
prostitutes have taken Bogan's dick.
Bogan's dick.
Bogan's dick.
Bogan's dick. So
Get a Bogan's dick in the chat.
I wonder if should I play the trailer or no? Should I not chance it? I'm not going to chance it.
I would not risk the strike over something so.
We're not going to risk the strike,
No.
so I will just do some production stills. This is the way the movie looks. Okay, it looks like it's shot on Super 8 film. Okay, that's not the picture I was looking for. Let's close that.
Can we just talk about how the hooker turns into a ninja?
Oh yeah.
They all turn into ninjas, man.
Everybody.
The big.
Oh
the
wait,
big-
right here. Okay, so this is the China. This is China, folks. All right. Yeah, the pastor after
Come on, you ain't
witnessing
never seen China look like that before.
after this young priest, actually, not even a pastor. All right, I feel like the people that made this movie don't understand how words work.
I don't think they do.
Because priests and pastors, especially if you've lived in a Catholic community for a long time, are completely different things. Okay, so the priest, he's actually, because he is of color. I know some pastors have collars depending on what religion you belong to, but after watching his parents die in front of him, conveniently in front of the church, just explode for no reason, he decides to go to China because he's questioning his faith, and he runs into this lady here that's wearing a karate outfit from the Salvation Army, because this is China. This is what China looks like.
It's worth
Hey,
mentioning.
it's China. It's Kung Fu. Get it right.
It's worth
This ain't the
mentioning.
Karate Kid. This is like the Karate Kid remake.
So it's worth mentioning though that a lot of characters have these like segues to give you backstory as if you care about them. And one of the ninja henchmen has a brief flashback or something talking about the girl that he's in love with, that girl that died. That's who's in that flashback for him.
Oh my God! Here's the actual scene right here. Video effects, car on fire.
That is an actual scene.
This is the first scene in the movie right here. Visual.
Yeah.
This is a still from the movie. I'm sharing IMDb right now, so this is not some bullshit we mocked up. All right, this is the movie that we watched on Tubi.
They could have kept us on board. At least have like a crappy mock-up town and have a model car on fire or something like.
Dude,
put in at least a minimum amount of effort to at least look like you tried, because they did not try.
Dude, even Ed Wood could find stock footage. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can find stock footage of a car blowing up on the internet. All right, on
And it's making the
YouTube.
buffalo go mad.
Oh my God. So here's the dinosaur right here. This is probably the best shot of the dinosaur. The dinosaur in this movie not only is not a velociraptor.
It's like a T-Rex. It's like a stumpy T-Rex.
It's a T-Rex.
It's a costume from Party City.
It is. It's
Enhanced to look like a dinosaur.
Has anybody else here ever seen One Crazy Summer with Demi Moore and John Cusack?
I remember it. I remember the movie, but I just can't remember the plot of it. I need to see it.
There's a scene with a Godzilla costume. All right, the Godzilla costume in that movie that was made in 1984 was fucking 100 times better than the Velociraptor in this. I mean, this thing was like, holy shit! Like you said, Party City quality. Like, I think I've seen better cosplay than this. Like, way better cosplay. Like, a million times. Like, I've seen like studio quality cosplay. Like, this is fucking like they made a movie out of this. Like.
So here's where the movie fails. For one, this poster's bullshit, okay? But this is nothing new. There's been posters made for years that are never representative of what you're watching. There's like 10,000 Asylum films that are proof of that, okay? But even something as ridiculous as I'm defending giant shark versus giant octopus here, or mega shark versus giant octopus. At least the poster is representative of the movie you're watching.
Right.
This is bullshit. This is failure, all right here. This is not even this. There's more effort put into this image right here than the entirety of the movie.
I have seen better made-for-TV movies on sci-fi.
Okay,
Yes.
now. Yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Like
I'm still gonna defend this movie. I'm still gonna.
I could give it a partial pass if they had at least done something with the car, and even if they gave us like the shittiest like Nintendo 64 Velociraptor, at least something.
Right. I mean, even the Amazing Bulk had like, VC plugins that they could download off the internet that they made an entire movie out of, like, GIF images. I mean, even Birdemic, Shock and Terror, and computer graphics, shitty as they may be, computer graphics were made. They were mostly GIF images, but they're in there. All right. This is bad. But the thing is, okay, so it's billed as action adventure comedy, and somehow has none of those things either. The adventure is what? You show me a scene and you say China on the screen. Don't use any stock footage at all. And like we said, the needle park down the street from the trailer park is okay. So that's China. Gotcha. That most cheap movies do that. you go to the woods, you go to like a forest preserve. It can either be an alien planet, it can be ancient Rome, or it can be you know what I mean. Like they do that in genre films. It's like one of the main sins you don't do. So okay, so it's billed as a comedy. Did either of you laugh at anything in this movie?
No.
Other than Frankie the
No.
fish or Frankie the mermaid?
Yes.
That was the only funny thing. It is even those jokes don't really land. But I mean, yeah, Frankie the mermaid was the only one trying in this movie. Let me see if I can find this actor if he's even on here. Frankie Mermaid. Nope, they don't even show his face because most of these people have never been in a movie and probably won't ever be in anything else ever again. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that seems about right.
So what we've learned from this, and this is a lesson that I've learned just from from somebody that likes to watch really bad movies as a hobby. When the title sounds too good to be true, most of the time that's the case. Especially like as we've learned from the Asylum movies, when they're designed to be bad, they're going to be exceptionally bad. The movies that we enjoy are the ones that have big budgets and ambition that somehow fail at every single level. This is designed to copy something that failed. So it's like it's a knockoff of a knockoff. You know what I mean? You start losing quality at this point. There's nothing charming about this, at least with like Slimeball last week, when we watched that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun. And that movie had no budget, but yet the jokes land, the gore is good. All of the actors are a joy to watch.
Yep.
Especially the lady that was running around playing Frankenstein. Those were fun. This here, clearly nobody was even committed to this whatsoever. It's like it almost feels like these people are acting in the movies like a favor to the director or something.
Kind of just phoned it in right from the word go.
That's like I said earlier. I feel like they were trying to be the next Room or trying to be the whatever. Like they wanted to be, we're gonna be that movie that, 10 years from now people go to midnight showings of, and it's
No.
you don't choose to be that. You
And-
just
and-
are.
Somehow that concept is more funny than the sum of the parts of this movie. Like the
Right.
fact that maybe they thought, maybe they just didn't give a shit. I don't know. Maybe they crowdfunded this. I don't know where this came from, or if this was like a direct to video release or made for
Probably
Tubi.
directed Tubi.
Yeah.
Probably direct
This
to
is a
Tubi.
Tubi
if-
exclusive.
If they even have such a thing, I mean, even The Fanatic that was directed by Fred Durst, I found more entertaining than this, and that was a extremely bad movie, but I found it entertaining. This one was just boring, and I think the ultimate sin in this movie is, I'm going to spoil this one because it's really not worth your time. The ending, they literally ripped off the ending of Miami Connection, where they says, only through the elimination of violence can we achieve world peace. They had the font going right across the screen and everything. And that's where I literally stood up and said, fuck you, movie. Not only because you're not only because you're ripping off Miami Connection, but that you think that you're clever enough that you can do that everybody hasn't already seen Miami Connection and knows better. But, you had the best of intentions going into this. The title sounded funny. But yeah, a lot of these I kind of skim over them because I know that it's going to be this kind of a movie. Somebody thinks they have a sense of humor, but ultimately is not very funny.
That's I feel like the name for the movie came first and everything else came after that.
Yeah, it does. It feels like some people hit the bong and said, dude, what would make a really cool movie? What if Velocipastor, dude? Oh my God, let's write this script. I'll see you this weekend. I'll bring the munchies.
Hey, wait a second. In the defense of the resident marijuana user here, I've come up with a lot funnier shit than this when I'm high. So there's I mean, you've been on the streams with me when we've come up with movies that in concept are far better than this.
I feel like if we were to actually film some of the movies,
This is like they bath salts or meth and came up with a fucking movie.
I still, I don't have any film like experience in like making movies or anything like that. I don't know anything. I watch a lot of movies and I know what works. And I've found that, especially with Tubi, since I just recently discovered it. Thank you, Alex, for that. I found that the sweet spot that I look for is like somewhere between the 70s and 80s. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Horror or science fiction. Those are usually pretty good. Not all of them. Sometimes those are duds too, but there's that sweet spot where people would take more risks. Nowadays, it's like everybody's offended by everything. This is made in 2018, so nope, not going to be any nudity, hardly any language at all. If it is, it's going to sound really forced and awkward.
Yep.
Really low budget, no effort made whatsoever because it's supposed to be funny. Get it? It's supposed to be bad.
Oh, it was bad. My issue is with this movie is I'm concerned for people's safety with the existence of this movie, because if you're in like a state of crisis and you're watching this might be the last thing you ever see. Like, this movie's that bad. Like, this is a movie that'll push you over the edge. Like, you might end up be one step closer to the edge and, end up fucking Linkin Park. I don't know. I'm just saying. This is a bad movie. Like, please, people, let me real prostitutes have it.
Our good friends Leo Red and Keely Chow. Keely Chow, thanks for joining us. So we got 6 people watching us talk about. If you don't know, I will remind you. Just there's a poll that you can vote on right now. I'm going to take you to that poll. RaidersLostFlix.com. Yeah, you went there. I'm running on no sleep because I was up all night doing movie reviews, guys. I stayed up till about 4 a.m. getting those done and uploaded because I wanted them to be relevant and out there. And YouTube has been a bitch all day and it's barely showing my stuff. But let me pull up my poll here. Oh God! Just shut up. Just stop. Just leave me alone. I knew I shouldn't have done this stream with no sleep. I knew I was asking for it. I was just asking for it. All right. All right. So here's the poll. Which one of these movies beat us down the most? And it was definitely Velocipastor by 100% margin. So you guys can vote if you want to. It's kind of pointless from here on out. Of the 3 that we watched, I think it's universally decided that this was the worst one. But yeah, I kind of try to stay away from these kind of movies because this is usually what you're going to get. Once in a while, you'll find one that had at least a couple of decent jokes, or maybe somebody was trying to get their work out there so that you could see them do some pretty good special effects or something like that. This had none of that, like really, literally none of it.
In other news, I actually know one of those actors in the movie.
Really?
The guy that played Altair is actually Voltaire. He's what you would consider a Renaissance man. He does music, he acts, writes books, all that kind of shit. But he's big in the goth culture.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay,
I thought I recognized.
When I first saw him, I thought he was what's his name? Blaine, David Blaine. Mm-hmm. Or what's the other guy? The Mind Freak, Chris
Angel.
Chris. Yeah, he looked like a cross between David Blaine and Chris Angel.
Mm-hmm.
He had that whole Anton LaVey thing going on.
Anton LaVey.
Yeah,
they
so
don't explain how he dies in the movie, and then you see him again like 10 seconds later.
That's right. But yeah, everybody in the movie instantly knows kung fu. Like I'm thinking, well, of course, yeah, you're a prostitute. Of course, you need to know kung fu. What self-serving prostitute would not know kung fu? Yeah, she knows. Nobody really does kung fu. They just kind of imitate it a little bit.
There's like no one actually speaks Chinese. They just speak gibberish.
Yeah.
Now that was kind of funny, but that was also done better in another movie, and that one was called Hot Shots Part 2.
Yep.
When the guy literally says Kareem of Onion Al Jarreau. That shit, that's funny to me. I like that kind of stuff. But once you start picking, and they do it too much. That's the other problem. If you're going to do jokes, you have to be kind of subdued about it. There's another movie that we're going to talk about tonight that I think handled that better than this one that was done like way longer ago. And I don't want to come off like it's like, oh, well, it has to have come out in the 1980s or it's going to be rubbish. No, that's not true. Sometimes the newer movies can be good, but I feel like a lot of these kind of movies are made too often, and most of them are dumped on the Sci-Fi Channel and kind of not worth your time.
That's like the wasteland for them, though.
They really are. The Sci-Fi Channel has become just like a wasteland for these types of movies.
So there's something to be said about that groove, though. The point, or something, what I guess I'm trying to say is, the ones in the 80s do it better because today they have no excuse to not have at least CGI. Like, all the tools are available and cheap. Like, in the 80s, not everyone had George Lucas's budget to make, these miniature cameras and these giant models and everything else. Like, today, movies being made in the last 5 years have no excuse to at least not put in a minimum effort.
Well, also, like, they also knew their audience, too. And it's like, those types of movies, if you only had a couple of special effects, like, just have a lady take off some more clothes. Mm-hmm. So at least we had the boobs. So there was that.
You want to...
I'd buy that for $1.
Because at least then they'd be like, you want to work in Hollywood, don't you? Take it off.
Yeah.
That's some Harvey Weinstein
Yeah,
shit.
that's in pre-Weinstein Hollywood, you could get more stuff like that. I mean, I just watched Frankenhooker this afternoon. Oh boy. Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, I think we can all universally. Well, I don't know, Alex. What do you give this one? Because I think Pete and Sal and I are all in agreement that we can't give it more than one cheese curd.
I only give it one cheese curd because that's the minimum I'm required to give.
Yeah, I don't go any lower than that. I try to keep my rating scale simple. I don't do minuses. I don't do zeros. What about you, Alex? What would you rate it? And that's cool that you're defending it, man. I mean, I guess you had a better time with it than I did. I was just completely bored through most of it, and I was just like, oh, this is one of those. This is one of those where the idea was better than the sum of its parts. Alex?
Oh.
Yeah.
I gave it a 2 out of 5. Yes, I know it's a bad movie. It was not. I ain't gonna lie. It was just one of those movies. Like, it looks so stupid. The whole time I'm just saying, this is stupid. But it's not making me angry. It's not Thor Ragnarok. Like, I'm actually going, oh, this is so ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. From a technical standpoint, this is a worse made movie than Thor Ragnarok. I will give it that.
You know what, Alex? I have a homework assignment for you. You need to rent a movie called Black Christmas 2019 and then tell me what you feel about Thor Ragnarok after that.
You don't want to play this game. People have tried to play this game with me before. You'll be surprised at what I pick over Thor Ragnarok. Okay?
Oh, man. I mean, I'm the same way.
I once picked Birth of a Nation over Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, sweet fancy Moses.
I don't mean the one that came out a few years ago. I mean the original Birth of a Nation. And I picked that over Thor Ragnarok. You don't want to play this game.
Okay, fair enough. Don't
play to me like that, J. Jonah Jameson.
I want those pictures of Spider-Man. You hear me, Link Life 7? Give me those pictures of Spider-Man.
I gave them to you, but they were nudes. You guys.
Damn it.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, I'm the same way with the Blair Witch Project. I fucking hate that movie, and every time I tried to give it a second or third chance, I hate it even more the second time than I did the first time. So I know how you feel.
The worst thing to come out of the Blair Witch Projects was that one dude who went on top of that playground was telling kids where babies came from.
There you go, Pete. You need to put that on a list. We need to remake the Blair Witch Project, but call it the Blair Witch Projects. We'll just have the same movie, but like down in the barrio, man.
Can't we call it the Bear Wench Project?
Already exists.
That already exists. It's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For those that are keeping track, that was a deep cut from a boardroom episode from like 2 weeks ago.
Yep. That was.
All right, so we got the Blair Witch Projects. That is on the
Blair
list.
Witch Projects. Yeah. Opening song will be "Once Upon a Time in the Projects" by Ice Cube.
I feel like that's probably already a movie. Let me look it up.
It probably is. I'm pretty sure somebody's done it. It's probably on Asylum. It'll be on the Sci-Fi Channel this weekend.
It'll be on Siffy.
Yeah, goddamn Siffy.
It ain't sci-fi. Sci-fi died like decade ago, man.
Sci-fi died thousands of years ago, man. Rest in peace,
Sci-fi.
Sci-Fi.
Had good stuff like Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar, the Dune, the miniseries.
Yeah, Siffy is where you get Sharknado and the Asylum movies.
Yep.
Oh,
Zombievers. Yeah.
You want to talk about creativity in movies and shit like that, like how bad these are? I mean, like, we have a movie called Into the Uncleverse. I mean, like,
Wait,
that's
what
for the on our movies Into the Uncle.
Are you fucking high?
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there nor anywhere. To be fair, I usually am.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair. To be fair.
I know how to hit those cues now. But no, yeah, it's the Uncleverse because we casted the whole fucking thing, and it's basically like the like
I must have missed that episode. I don't remember Into the Uncleverse.
Yeah,
Was I there?
it's Spider-Ben, the Uncleverse.
Oh God! If I was there, I don't remember any of it. Man, I must have picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
I must have picked the wrong week.
After tonight, it looks like you have to go back to it.
Yeah, I think I do. I definitely need a
Leo
jolt.
Red's right, man. Sci-fi was good when it was sci-fi.
Yep.
Sci-fi is Mystery Science Theater and Battlestar Galactica. That's sci-fi.
Yep.
Sci-fi is Sharknado.
I like Sharknado.
You know,
I hate
honestly, I'm getting
Sharknado.
more enjoyment out of Tubi and Pluto TV than I am out of the Sci-Fi channel.
Dude, Pluto TV rocks.
Yeah, good times there,
I
man.
have Pluto TV. It's installed, but I've yet to watch anything on it. But I do have it installed.
Just take a right. I always leave it parked on two channels. It's either on the Riff Tracks channel or the Mystery Science Theater channel because I can watch all those multiple times and never get sick.
See
of them.
that Pluto is on my cable, so I just chill.
Ooh, Flare X said Dark Matter was a decent TV show. Yes,
Yeah,
I've seen
Dark
2 seasons
Matter.
of that. I loved it. Absolutely
That was-
loved it.
That was when they was trying to break out because there was a time when Sci-fi was trying to be more serious.
Yes, they were trying to be a science fiction
But at the
oriented
same
channel.
time, they couldn't help it. They still made like Sharknado 5, and people's like, okay, well, you can't be the serious channel,
Oh.
but still making Sharknado movies. Like that, they're two separate things.
You know, this is a good point to talk about Sharknado because Velocipastor is one of those types of movies. This kind of thing, now that everybody's doing it, it's not funny anymore. You know what I mean? It's like the joke has repeated itself too many times, and there's a lot of people that think they can do it better, but they just wind up doing like the same thing. Example, there are 5 Sharknado movies. The first Sharknado that came out, the idea behind it was ridiculous enough, and I thought the first one was a perfectly fine, entertaining movie in of itself. For 4 more sequels, no, you don't do that. No. And then it just becomes, it's like all of the budget goes to the how many Hollywood has-beens can we put on here and C-list actors can we squeeze into one movie? Like I watched one of them, I swear there was like 18 cameos in it. I think that was one of the earlier ones. It's probably gotten worse since then. But yeah, so now you have a whole channel of this stuff. I think El Rey is a more respectable channel than the Sci-Fi channel.
I love El Rey, man.
The problem I have with El Rey is there's a commercial every 5 seconds.
So it's like YouTube then.
Yeah.
Worse, way worse. You could get way more. Yes, El Rey is really bad with the commercials, like A&E, like FXX bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe even worse. Yeah.
In other news, we have 15 thumbs up.
Yes.
That's impressive. I'm glad we got a good turnout tonight. Maybe it's the whole "fuck you, it's January" thing. You know, one week you do a show and you got 2 people, and next week you got 7. Hey, I'm not complaining.
Nope.
But I think we've talked about Velocipastor more than it deserves. Yeah, it's a terrible movie. It's kind of a waste of time. I didn't find any joy in watching it. It obviously sets up a sequel, and I'm like, no, you're not.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Would I do?
No,
that?
you don't. No, you don't. Yeah,
Hilarious.
the only thing, if I had to say one good thing about Velocipastor, it has montages. I think that's something that kind of gets overlooked in movies nowadays, lack of montages. There's at least 2 in Velocipastor.
And that's a montage. Montage.
They're not good montages,
No,
but at least
they're
they're
not
there.
good.
Oh, and another trope that these low-budget movies make, it's the same thing Miami Connection did. Although when Miami Connection does it, it's way more funnier. Obviously, they probably have a friend that's in a band that's doing the music for the
Yes.
movie. Let's play the whole fucking song because that's really important.
Yeah. Dude, it's
I'm
like
sorry, there's 18 punk bands exactly like the one that this one is. I'm not interested. I just don't care.
they're like, hey, will you do some music for the soundtrack to my movie? Oh, I'll do the whole score if you play the entire fucking song, bro. God damn it! All right.
So now your movie, so
Yep.
that your band can say, "Well, we got a soundtrack and a movie, bro." It's
Yeah.
not really saying much.
What
man.
movie, Velocipastor? Oh, I see. Well,
I got friends of mine that make less money than I do that have songs in video games that are
That's-
out right now.
that doing the score to the original motion picture Velocipastor, that is not going to get you laid, sir. That is not going to get you laid.
I just had pop go up in my nose. Just damn you, Pete.
Again, if you're in crisis, please do not watch Velocipastor. This is not the message you seek.
He's not wrong. He is so not wrong.
No.
All right. So the next movie that we watched, let me pull it up here. Shut up, you guys. Especially you. You be quiet. No. All right. Hamburger, the motion picture. I've heard a lot about this. This was a special request by group. Now, Velocipastor was one that Sal picked, and I says, well, Sal wanted to be a guest on the show, so I let guests on the show pick their movie. Velocipastor was his choice. I says, I'll let you explain that one.
That's a choice I have to live with. I'm pretty sure that choosing that was harder than Sophie's choice.
Jesus. But you learned a lesson from it, and like I said, I've learned the same thing. I used to rent screwball movies like that. Another thing I was going to mention too, if you get one that's done by Roger Corman, you'll generally have a pretty good time. Most of his movies are low budget as well, with equally, if not more, ridiculous titles, but they're still somewhat entertaining because he's a competent filmmaker. I like Sharktopus. That's a newer one. That one was genuinely funny. I found the jokes landed on that one, and the special effects were kind of good for its time. I don't think they've held up well, but it definitely doesn't take itself seriously. It was a better time. This one, I don't know if it was trying to be funny, trying to be bad, or it failed there. Anyways, back to Hamburger, the motion picture. And
Dick Butkus was in this? Huh.
Dick
funny.
Dick Butkus was in this movie. What this movie is about is this kid, get his name right here, Russell, all right, the main guy, Russell, has been expelled from seven different colleges because he can't stop having sex. He gets expelled from all these universities because he can't keep in his pants. He keeps getting caught in places he's not supposed to be, sleeping with the wrong people. Women find him irresistible, so he's been kicked out of 7 universities. After he finally gets kicked out of the last one, he's in a house with his parents. They're having an argument. He watches a commercial for, I'm trying to remember the name of, I think it's called Buster Burger? Yeah, Buster Burger. Watched a commercial for Buster Burger, and he decides to go to Burger College to become a franchise manager.
I feel like he'd be better served going to a trade school learning how to become a plumber, because he is a pipe man, evidently.
Bazinga!
You're all weak, folks.
I hit that way too slow. I'm just like I said, I'm running on low steam today. But so the rest of the movie plays out like Police Academy, except replace the cop stuff with Burger College.
Outstanding.
That's the movie. There's a gratuitous amount of nudity in this one as well. I'm not complaining about that.
Thank God.
Yeah, so it's not boring. Okay, some of the jokes are kind of good. Most of the people in this movie are reduced to stereotypes. There's the stereotypical nerd in there that talks with the lisp. I can't do the lisp thing
Talks
really
like
good.
Logan's dick.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that guy. He talks with the lisp. He's got the nerd glasses going on. The main guy, I'm trying to remember the guy that runs the. Lyman. Lyman Vunk is the owner of the Burger Empire. That is. What's it called again? Buster Burger. Okay, yeah, he owns the Buster Burger Empire. He's kind of a stereotype cross between Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler. His wife is like this bombshell, really ditzy blonde. He's got that kind of accent to talk like this. Oh, gee, gosh, really? That kind of voice, but she's built like a stripper. She's got like the stripper body going on with the really bronze tan going on too. And then one of the people in the university is like constantly having an affair with her. And of course, the main guy, he's decided that this time he's going to make this work. He's going to resist sex at any opportunity so that he doesn't get kicked out of Burger College because he wants his parents to be proud. Isn't that sweet? Okay.
Also, doesn't he want like an inheritance too? Like they're wasting an inheritance on him.
Here's the lady right here. So this is the wife. Okay, and here's Dick Butkus. Now Dick Butkus shows up. He's a drill sergeant that's going to teach these people how to be franchise managers. And he's like he's Dick Butkus, but he's also trying to be Patton as well. So One thing I do have to give this movie credit for, something that's rarely seen these days, is that this movie will go way out of its way to set up a joke. Here's the hat that they wear. They have to earn their horns, okay, to graduate from this college.
Here's Moosey.
Like, this obviously came out at the time when, like, movies like Porky's and Meatballs and Animal House were, like, really big and popular. So I think it was trying to cash in on that. Yeah, here's the video box right here. It's not Kentucky Fried Movie. I think that's a way better movie than this one. But I found this movie to be at least funny in that it's only 90 minutes. Right? There's plenty of boobs. There's plenty of jokes. It's basically college humor. It's frat humor, but instead of being in a regular college, they're at a burger college. But yeah, they go so far their way. There's like one particular joke they set up. They put them in this giant pickle. Like they're when they go through the drive-through, they have a giant pickle that talks to you. And of course, the pickle's a smart ass. And at the burger college, they have smaller versions of this pickle. And if you do something bad, like get caught screwing around with the franchise manager's wife, or you get put into the torture, and they drip green sauce on you, and it's supposed to torture you. And then they kind of pull back and show these guys inside these little plastic pickles. They're like, I'm in a real pickle here. That kind of thing. Like, they went that far to set up that joke. It's a cheesy dad joke, but I still kind of laughed at it because I'm like, wow, you committed all of that to a joke that's that bad. I kind of respect you for doing that. But yeah, that's Hamburger the motion picture. Anybody else want to comment on this one, or am I just all alone here?
No, I didn't watch it, but I see the star of the movie, Russell Lee McCluskey.
You've seen him in other stuff? Because I don't recognize him from anything. I've never seen any of the people in this movie other than Dick Butkus.
I just looked at some pictures. Life. He was in The Young and the Restless for like 17 years. He was on One Life to Live. Let's see. He was on General Hospital for 8 years. He was on 6 years. He was on Dallas for 8 years. He has like 6 Santa Barbara from 88 to 90. Dallas from 1980 to 1988. He has an extensive acting record. He was on The Love Boat for 2 years.
Oh, yeah, you're not kidding. Did a lot of TV. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Got it.
Wow.
So it's just kind of funny how you see these little crazy off the wall movies like this, and one actor like that, you're like, who are these people? And just one click on IMDb, and it's like, oh my goodness. And I'm kind of admitted like a Dallas fan, so I'm gonna have to go back and check that out now.
I apologize in advance. I can't remember which person. Somebody in our group that we know, one of our good friends, had been bugging me to do this movie for a while. As you can see, it's only like a 5 out of 10. It's your middle of the road screwball comedy. I'm not saying it was bad. Definitely wasn't Velocipastor, thank God. There's definitely plenty of nudity in it, so at least it was interesting enough to make me not fall asleep. But yeah, it's a lot of jokes. I think one of the funniest moments in the movie is they set this up where when they're in these burger classes, also in the dorms, like all of their in their dorms, like the beds are shaped like hamburgers and the pillows are shaped like pickles and shit like that. Their uniforms are ridiculous. Obviously, you see they're wearing horns. The Buster Burger or Bull Burger or whatever the hell it is they call. But they're chanting these different things that they're supposed to say to their customers, and they're like, put those cookies back, motherfucker. That's one of the things that they're chanting. And when they finally their big test is they have to actually run a franchise. And this little girl comes in. They have like actual customers. This little girl's like looking at this box of cookies on the counter, like real little. And they all turn around and use it and like, put those cookies back, motherfucker. It's really funny. They just told this little kid to put the cookies back, motherfucker. I don't know. I got a kick out of it. I enjoyed it for the most part. Anybody else watch this movie?
Oh yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was just a regular 80s raunchy comedy. I can work with that. I can dig it.
It's not quite like Airplane level humor or Top Secret or anything like that, but it's close to it. Like, it has some jokes that are set up pretty well. But for the most part, I feel like I've seen this movie before, and I think it was called Police Academy. Because I know there's a huge following for those, but they're very formulaic, where you have like a certain group of characters, and they're going to pretty much do the same thing. You got the cool one, you got the one nice girl, then you got all the sluts, and then you got the nerd, and this particular one at least had a nun, so that was kind of different. Like one of the Burger College students is actually a nun with the whole habit and everything. I thought that was kind of funny. But other than that, I kind of started forgetting some of the jokes like not long after I watched it. I kind of wanted to talk about this one more, but I can't think of anything else other than check it out. It's got some jokes in it. Kind of underwhelming now that I think about it. It's a terrible idea. I mean, everything that we watched tonight was designed to be a comedy. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But like I said, at least this one, if they know the jokes wouldn't land, they had plenty of boobs in there to distract you from everything else that was going on.
I feel like you're having an existential crisis talking about Hamburger the motion picture.
I like the name of the title. Anything the motion picture is, because that was kind of a trope in the late 70s, early 80s. You had such, like Star Trek the motion picture, Superman the motion picture. So why not Hamburger the motion picture? It's not a parody movie, at least. At least it's not like, date movie and disaster movie and all of that kind of garbage that came out like in the early 2000s. Now, see, those are kind of like what we're talking about, where they're like designed to be bad and they like fail at every level.
Sure.
Like they're too self-aware. You know what I mean? Like they're not happy accidents like the ones that we like to normally watch. All right, so we're gonna probably get to the next movie and I just finally watched that this afternoon. I'd never seen it before, and that is Frankenhooker. All right, share screen. No, I don't want to do a Google search on that. I could pull up some naughty things that will definitely get me stricken.
Give us some trouble.
Give me a second. Yeah, there's let's just get right into it. This one probably had more boobs per scene than any of the movies that we watched. A movie like Frankenhooker I was talking to my buddy Brian on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing a live stream later." He says, "So what are you doing?" I says, "Well, I'm reviewing Hamburger the motion picture, Frankenhooker, and Velocipastor." He says, "Why do those all sound like pornos?" Because they almost are. I'm like, shit, maybe we should be doing pornos, but I'm like, I don't think I could cover pornos on YouTube. Like we would have to actually move to like Pornhub or something like that, I think.
It's not a bad idea.
It's live on Pornhub.
Live on Pornhub. I'm not opposed to that.
Pete got the voice for it already, so
I do.
There you go. He does have the voice for it. So here's Frankenhooker. All right, this is all we can show you. Alex, why don't you go ahead and explain to us what Frankenhooker is about?
All right. Frankenhooker is the movie about a scientist who is at a party with his, I believe it's his fiance. She gets killed by some automated lawnmower he created, like just shish kebab. There's nothing left of her except for her head. He decides to take her. He's a scientist now, so he decides to take her head and rebuild.
Doctor, actually, was he starting to become a doc? Was he starting to become a doctor or a scientist?
Don't remember.
I think it was a doctor. Yeah.
Anyway, he needs body parts. So instead of doing the grave thing like Frankenstein did, he decides to go look for hookers. I mean, you can pretty much tell that from the title, but he finds a whole lot of hookers. But he got a lot of money. He pays them all to show up to a party as he's examining each one to find out which body part he wants. At one point, I forgot why he did it. He comes up with like this crack that is dangerous and will kill you. And the hookers find the crack and they take it and they all just blow up.
It makes them literally explode.
Yeah.
Like this is pre-Breaking Bad. I feel like Breaking Bad kind of took some, their ideas from Frankenhooker.
I feel like this kind of sounds like a lot like Reanimator.
Yeah. Oh.
There are some striking similarities. Reanimator is a way better movie than this one.
Mm-hmm.
I love Reanimator and Bride Reanimator. This one actually is really good. It's not great, but it's good. I think what was funny about this one is it's very like New Jersey based. So you got like the Jersey accents. The main guy is, let me pull up his name here. Never seen him in anything else. James Lawrence. He plays Jeffrey Franken. That's his name. Instead of Frankenstein, his name is Franken. It's Jeffrey Franken. He's got the accent. I think what I liked about this is that they approach working on people like he's a HVAC type guy or a pipe fitter or a plumber. You know, he's got like the opening credits. He's got like, you know, he's drawn it out like blueprints and shit. You know, he's like, if I get so many volts into this arm here, I mean, he's spouting out bullshit science while he's doing it, but he's just like, he's approaching like putting a body back together like you would like fix an air conditioner.
Okay, so that's the thread between these movies, and so he's kind of like a plumber coming up with schematics, and Hamburger, the main dude's a pipe man laying all the pipe, and then Velocipastor is just a piece of shit that travels through pipes. I think that's our common thread.
Sal will be here all week, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there is a common thread between all of these in that what you just said. I can't even repeat it. But yeah, what's funny about this one, when we first see Jerry Franken, like before all these incidents that Alex just set up go into play, he's sitting in a living room and he's got a brain in a tank. I just watched this afternoon. The brain has an eyeball like right in the center of it. I wonder if they show the picture here. And nobody asks any questions about this. Like this is normal. This is the kind of movie we're watching here. Like they're at a picnic. And there's like, you know, the mom is like in the living room, like cooking stuff for the picnic. And he's just sitting at this table in the kitchen working on this brain with an eyeball in the center of it. And he's got like a toolbox like you'd find in the trunk of your dad's truck, you know, like just, and like he's trying to get this brain to follow him. And he just pulls out like a wrench or a hammer or something, bangs on a wire or something. And you see a couple of sparks and nobody even reacts to this like this is anything out of the ordinary. This is the movie. Let me see what pictures they show us here. No photos, huh? Probably because you can't show much of this without getting banned. Okay, yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's some photos. So here's our main. Once he puts Elizabeth back together, that's what she looks like. She looks like what's her name from Nightmare Before Christmas?
Sally.
It looks like Sally, but with bigger boobs.
Nice.
Also, when you see her boobs are purple. Like her nipples are purple.
Outstanding.
Yep, I like that little bit of detail right there. So here's what he looks like when he's actually trying. He's like buys all these prostitutes, right? And he's like measuring them with like tape measures and like, you know, measuring their boobs and stuff like that. The scene goes on like forever. All right, he's looking at their legs. He's trying to assemble the perfect body because none of these people are perfect, but they all have like perfect, like certain features that they think are perfect. Here we go. Here's the scene I was telling you about right here. So here's the obvious picture of his girlfriend's head right here. All right. Here's the schematics that he's working on, and he's drawing it up like he's working on an air conditioner. I thought that was kind of funny. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I find humor in strange things.
I think it would have been even better if they'd done the Vitruvian Man by Da Vinci, if he had that all splayed out.
Kind of is.
Kind of.
With a special emphasis on the boobs here, because I like when they zoom in on it, it almost looks like the Death Star, you know? So, got a kick out of that. But yeah, he's like looking at the legs here, and he's like, now if I get 120 volts into this right here, this might need a better gear or pulley over here. It's like he's building rebuilding an air conditioner. Pretty funny. I can let you use your imagination as to what this scene is right here. Yeah, there we go. So he's measuring the legs. What else do I got? There's 62 pictures. Okay, here's the girlfriend post-mortem. There, you can see the brain in the background with the eyeball in it. That's just in the movie. Like he's working on it from time to time. Don't know what it's called. Don't know why there's an eyeball in the center of the brain, but that's just like one of his pets, I guess.
Is that Krang?
Yeah, it's Krang. That's what. Wait,
Krang?
Doesn't Krang have two eyeballs though?
I think
Two
he
eyes,
does. Yeah.
tentacles, and a mouth with teeth.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of it's off camera. You just can't see it.
So this is what's left. This is what's left of his girlfriend post radio. You know, remember those radio control lawnmowers back in the 80s? You guys remember that?
I do not.
Me either, because they didn't exist. All right. So he's having dinner with his girlfriend post-mortem lawnmower accident. All that's left of him is a toe, a hand, and a foot. And he's feeding the dummy head wine. That was kind of funny.
Of course, I'm left with the one part that fucking talks. God damn it.
No, she doesn't talk. He literally dumps liquid down the head here, and it just kind of pours out the bottom. At
least they had attention to detail.
They did have attention to detail. This movie does get two parts right. It has the gore, and it has lots of boobs. Mm-hmm. I mean, here we go. Here's a tray of boobs. I can show you this. It's on IMDb. Literally a cookie sheet full of boobs.
The tray of titties.
Tray of titties. There you go. You saw it first on Raiders Lost Flicks Live. This is a Raiders Lost Flicks Live first. A tray of tits.
Outstanding.
This head actually talks at some point. I don't want to spoil the movie, so I'll let you experience that on your own. When she finally becomes reanimated the first time, like this is his girlfriend's face. The hair has changed, obviously, because she was a blonde in one moment, but now her head is blue. But for whatever reason, her memory is that of a prostitute. So she comes back to life, and I got to turn on my camera so you can see my impression here. She's kind of like making these goofy faces and kind of jerking around like, hey, you looking for a good time? You got a money? You got some rock or some blow? You know, like typical hooker things that you'd say, and just kind of walking around like she's like Frankenstein. I don't know how else to describe it. She's funny. I found her to be really funny. But my only problem with this movie is it took a really long time to get going. Like, I thought it dragged a bit. Once it gets going, though, it's like I'm with it. But there she is. Oh, also, she has one black forearm. Just because. There, you can kind of see it there.
Diversity.
Yeah. There you go. There's the black for diversity. We have to have the representation. Here's all your representation.
Too, I believe.
Now, I know what you're thinking. For enough money, yes, you can put one in the stink and two in the pink with her. And when you're done with that, you give her a nice wash, and you can put one in the brave and two in the stunning.
What else we got here? Oh, yeah. So when she sleeps with people, they explode. We don't really know why. I mean, the bullshit science kind of just... If you've seen Weird Science, you're just... You know, the 80s, you could get away with stuff like this. You really didn't have to explain. She sleeps with dudes, and they explode.
Well, I assume it's because of the cocaine from all the hookers.
Right.
Remember, it was making them explode.
The crack rock that he makes, he engineers it to make them explode.
Yeah.
Because he feels that would be more humane than to just shoot them.
And it's still also, pretty much their bodies.
We're missing an important fact, and I don't know why this is important because I was kind of confused by it. He periodically drills holes in his head. Why does he do that?
To alleviate the pressure.
Yeah.
Science pressure?
Dahmer did that to his victims.
No, he does it to himself.
Well, that's just
insanity. He takes okay, so here he goes to the room. All these girls find the bag of rock cocaine in his briefcase. They go nuts with it. They're all smoking, and then they just all randomly explode. So he freaks out, grabs all of the parts, puts them in contractor bags, shoves them in his car, drives back home, and here he is in his laboratory. Attention to detail in the laboratory. There are parts in this that look like they're ripped directly from the original Frankenstein. So I thought that was kind of a nice touch. But yeah, he's got a garbage can here just full of legs. He's like, okay, which ones were they? Also, when I showed you the measuring thing earlier, he's like literally taking a Sharpie and drawing check marks like on the butt cheeks. So he knows which ones he likes.
So is this kind of like a prequel of sorts to UHF, and this is what that scientist was doing?
Yes, we got it all on UHF.
It's all connected.
During this scene right here, I'm thinking it really would not have taken much to get me to do a movie like this, considering what he had to do for this movie, like just like measuring boobs and crawling through a literal tunnel of legs. Right.
That's where they got that for the Big Lebowski, huh?
Yeah, he's got to be careful. His bowling pins have been in that line.
It's
Dr. Detroit.
gutter balls with Jackie Treehorn.
There she is right there doing her the funny faces right here.
Want some money? Want some company?
Yeah, you want the company? You got any money? Oh my god. There's a
Oy, cabrón.
That's that O face right there.
Ugh.
that's that I work at Hot Topic on the weekends face right there.
Is that Jessica Jones?
That's what I was
Oh
going
my
to
It does
God,
look like
it does
Jessica
look like-
Jones.
It's like fucking
Jessica
Chris. That's
Jones.
Kristen Ritter. Don't trust the bitch in apartment 23. Look at
It looks
her.
like Jesse Pinkman's girlfriend before she died.
That's the same actress.
Is it the same actress?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kristen Ritter.
The nose
That
looks
looks-
a little different.
That
I
looks
thought
like
she looked
Kristen Ritter
familiar.
after she watched an episode of Batwoman.
'Cause, I feel like this Frankenhooker is like what the stepmom in Hellraiser wanted to be. She's a lot
Yep.
more efficient.
Yep.
Yep.
I think she's getting paid to kill motherfuckers.
Now this is perfect for a holiday bake sale right here. If your kids are looking for, if there's a baking competition this weekend,
Titty
hit up
cake.
that guy.
Anybody want some titties?
Titty cake.
Eventually, he does get his girlfriend back the way she normally was, but then I don't want to give too much away because that will spoil the ending for you. So, gonna leave that But yeah, once the movie finally starts to get going, it's worth it. There's also some really good special effects in here. There are some puppetry going on right here with the hands and the feet. I wonder how much of that they're gonna show me. This guy right here is the pimp. His name is Zorro. He literally brands his hookers with the little Z with a circle around it.
It's good to copyright people, you know.
Yeah.
There he is measuring for the legs again. Most of these girls, you're going to see their boobs the entire time. This particular shot right here has them just cut out of focus.
No boobs left behind.
No boobs left unturned.
And if you're curious what happens to these young ladies after they're blown up, just watch Beetlejuice and you'll see them waiting in the same queue that he's waiting in.
Also, here's the girlfriend pre-Frankenhooker right here. So, but yeah, I'd never seen this before. Here he is, right there. He's drilling his head. I don't know what this was all about. I was kind of confused by it. He's thinking, so he takes the drill. He's got like a little head on the table with like numbers and stuff, and he's like, okay, which one today? 22. And I guess he figures that if he drills part of his head, he can think more clear.
His brain really itches.
Most people, I don't know, would maybe snort a line of coke or something, but this guy decides to drill holes in his head. I don't know if that was a Ghostbusters reference or, Egon Spengler was going to try this once, and it was going to work if he hadn't been stopped.
Leo Red says he used the drill to hit pressure points in the brain in order for him to memorize stuff and think more.
Okay. And this is why we have you guys in the comments, so that you can explain things to me, because I was confused by it. There's been times where I've had sinus headache so bad that I've considered, like, if I could just, like, put a hole right here and no, I didn't really think that at all. And that's Frankenhooker. I would give this one probably about 3 stars because it drags a bit. That's the only thing. By the time it gets going, I'm kind of a little bit checked out by it.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely plenty of boobs. It's an 80s movie.
It has awesome bibbage.
Lots of boobage.
If you feel your movies have problems, just add boobs.
Hell yeah.
Now, Hamburger, the motion picture, I think I'd probably give that one the same score. I think I'd give that one about 3 cheese curds as well. Velocipastor, fuck you. Seriously. Fucking terrible movie.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in here on.
Definitely.
Y'all got one more time to make fun of my Velocipastor movie. One more time.
One more time?
One more time.
What happens after that?
Touche.
So those were our movies for this week. What do you guys think? Anything else you want to add?
They were just traditionally bad movies. The funny thing is, Hamburger, I would almost put as a movie, as an actual movie.
Like it probably doesn't belong in this list. Like maybe it's a little higher budget than we should.
If you take the title out of it, it's no different from Porky's or American Pie.
I'm actually surprised they didn't call it Buster Burger.
Because Hamburger the motion picture just sounds more. Would we have reviewed this if it was called Buster Burger?
You know what else
Let's
is
be
funny is all the ridiculousness that they do in this college. They're not allowed to eat anything else other than hamburgers while they're in this college. Like they and I'm thinking all these people are way too, except for that there's one guy. That was another guy that was in that movie. He shocks himself to keep himself from eating all of the food. He's got like a little pocket battery operated thing, and he zaps himself because he's like, you don't think it'd be possible for a guy that likes to eat all the time to manage a restaurant and not eat all those delicious, tasty burgers? But I found a method. And he like puts a little thing on his finger and he shocks himself. That joke gets played out quite a bit in the movie. It comes back and it comes back again.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure
we're doing this again. And then there's another guy that's the nerd guy. He's with one of the teachers on the campus. That's a very bad ripoff of not Thomas Edison, Alfred Einstein. He's one of the teachers, and he's also secretly experimenting with different foods. So he gives this guy a lot of food, and it makes him do weird things. Like at one point, he pretty much almost turns the guy into a chicken, like mentally, like he thinks he's a chicken, and he lays an egg. That happens. Hamburger, the motion picture.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Dun, 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 dun. It's really like Police Academy though, man, because like there's like this big, the big acceptance speech at the end where they're all wearing their horns and they got the tassel and they put the tassel over the other horn and they're all giving their speeches. They got one guy in the show that's like he's a singer and he gets arrested, but he's in there because the university is being accused of not being diverse enough. So they literally bring this guy in just so that is a PR stunt. Like he doesn't even want to be there. He wants to sing. This black guy wants to sing, so they bring him into the university. And Dick Buskus is like, "You're gonna pass this class if it's the last thing I do because we need the PR."
Do you remember what his name was?
Magneto.
Yeah, they called him Magneto, but I was like, wait a minute, you spell that out. Yeah, I was like, it's Magneto.
His name is Magneto. Yeah.
It's Magneto. Heck, I just realized what else this movie has with Police Academy. It even has the hidden oral sex scene in the Chinese restaurant.
The hidden oral sex scene in the Chinese restaurant goes on a little longer than I wanted it to because it's like mad at that scene. How you've seen this they did this in The Dirt recently with the Motley Crue movie. Like, when somebody's hiding under a table, if it's a member of the opposite sex, they're always going to work in an oral sex joke in there at some point. So one of the guys is under the table and the franchise owner's wife is sitting there and he's like, she ain't got no panties on. So the next thing you know is she's sweating and moaning and writhing around and everything. And then Dick Buckus is sitting on the other side of the table like, what's wrong with you? He's like, oh, I just had some hot peppers, or spicy wings or something like that. He's like, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And she's like, oh, I know. I think the best part though is when they're in the helicopter and like she's naked in the helicopter and she accidentally like makes the helicopter go up in the air. Like you didn't see that one coming, but it was still kind of funny. I enjoyed it. I didn't fall asleep at least, and I was watching that with like no sleep at all. I mean, I did both of my reviews last night, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta watch these movies because we're doing the show tomorrow. I gotta be prepared. I didn't know if I was going to get through all three of them today, so I tried to spread them out throughout the week. And Frankenhooker was the one I watched like literally 2 hours before this stream. So that one's like the most fresh in my memory. But I think if I had to pick my favorite out of the three, it would probably be Hamburger, though.
Same. I go with Hamburger.
I think Hamburger almost doesn't belong on the list. But like, they're all comedies, but I think that one's maybe a little more competent than it deserves to be on this list. It's up there with like Meatballs and Animal House and Porky's, all those kind of movies. If you've seen Revenge of the Nerds, you kind of know what kind of humor you're going to get. It's worth a look, but I still think that Kentucky Fried Movie is better because that's a series of skits. And I like movies that are series of short skits. You don't get enough of those anymore.
Well, last time they tried, you got movie 47.
Oh God.
I just hear Sal like I could hear Sal right now, just like
I've never seen movie 47, but I've heard
You don't
so
need to
much
see
about it that I don't feel like I need to watch it.
I
hear
saw
it's
movie 47 and I regret it.
that bad, huh?
It's another one of those they were trying to be a bad movie,
Yeah.
but it has a bunch of like A-listers and shit like that. And it's
Yeah,
like,
I think they said something like they got tricked into it. Like I think they like because they admit like they had like Halle Berry, Hugh Jackman, Liev Schreiber, Naomi Watts, like all kinds of famous people's in that movie.
yeah.
I heard somewhere it's the Zucker brothers. They're the ones that did Airplane and Kentucky Fried Movie. They said the best way to do a comedy is you get real actors and you play it straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way everything seems more funny. That most of these people don't get that. They're straight actors that know they're in a comedy, so they try to be funny, and that's when these things all fall apart.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's nothing funnier than Peter Graves saying, "You ever seen a grown man naked?" in his like serious, Mission Impossible voice. I mean, that shit's funny, man. It never gets old to me either.
You like movies about gladiators?
Even Leslie Nielsen, who's done plenty of comedy, is funny in that movie because he's still playing it straight. Everybody's playing it straight in that movie, and that's why those jokes work.
Which part of the reason why he's so funny is up until like basically Airplane, he'd never done comedies. He was all
He was a serious
movies.
actor.
Yep.
And then once he did Airplane,
Same
like,
with Lloyd Bridges. Yeah, Lloyd Bridges pretty much steals every scene in that movie.
Mm-hmm. That's like one of the funniest scenes with Leslie Nielsen in it. Is Naked Gun when he's like trying to get information from the guy. He's like, well, maybe this will jog your memory. And he's like, oh, it's coming back a little bit. He's like, well, maybe this will jog your memory. And he goes, okay, yeah, I remember what you want to ask me. He's like, oh, I don't remember now. And this is the guy starts handing him money back. He's like, maybe this will jog your memory.
Just keep going back and forth. Yeah, I love those kind of movies. My favorite comedy of all time is Airplane. I just it is as long as as many times as I've seen it and more as I watch it. There's so many jokes in that you don't pick up on the first pass, and then you watch it again, and then if you don't watch it for a while and you go back and watch it again, you pick up on some more jokes. The only thing I didn't like about Hamburger was that it unlike Police Academy always had like very memorable characters, which is why they had like 6 or 7 sequels made out of it. Hamburger doesn't have really any characters with that much personality in it, which was kind of a bummer. Because like the nerd trope, like they only did like maybe 2 or 3 jokes with that. The main guy, okay, that's his whole arc is that he can't stop having sex even when he wants to. Like women just throw themselves at him. At one point, the dean jumps on him, like when she's in the middle of yelling at him, she's like jumping on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the principal walks in, so he gets kicked out of that university. And then he's in the Burger College, and then there's this very bad Puerto Rican stereotype that's also thrusting herself on him, and he's like pretending to be gay to get her to leave him alone, so he doesn't get thrown out of the college.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the universities he decides to take seriously, Burger College. This is the one that's going to work. I mean, there are burger colleges. I'm wondering if the people that wrote this movie, if one of them like actually went to like a Burger King university or McDonald's or something like that. If they were
I
just,
hope so.
I do too. I'm wondering if there's a story behind that.
I feel like the person who wrote it probably wrote it very tongue-in-cheek and meta, that their parents told them that, there's no money to be made in movies, you'll end up working at a fast food restaurant or something.
There's probably some story like that behind it. If there's a story like that behind it, it doesn't really show in the movie, but it does show like in some of the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, he has a sex doll, and like you can hear it like saying things when nobody's looking. Like they kind of like just squeeze the jokes into the scene so the audience hears it, but nobody else does. That kind of humor. Not, like I said, not quite as clever as Airplane. I think those jokes are written way better, but I don't know. I miss some of those 80s comedies though. I'll always give them a chance. Sometimes they surprise me. Sometimes it's like, yep, I've seen this movie before. It's been done too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I think the show's going a little shorter than normal, unless anybody else has anything that they want to talk. You guys want to ask me anything about The Turning or any of the new movies that came out this weekend?
I can't really think of anything.
I think I pretty much covered it on my videos.
Yeah, you did, because I was kind of excited about The Turning, and I watched your video this morning, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Chat, put an F in the chat. Do you like watching me like hate movies more than reviewing movies that I love? Is that just like you guys, or is that just a YouTube thing?
I think that's a zeitgeist thing. There's a lot of, misery loves company kind of thing. So I feel like people like watching people be more cynical and tear things apart. Because listen to people be like, oh my god, this is like, and I've noticed this, that people who are willing to be more critical or be like, just, this thing sucks, I feel are more realistic in their expectations in their life, because you see all these other fake personalities on YouTube be like, oh my god, guys, I can't believe this, oh my god, this is so... I'm like, is this a commercial or a review? What are we doing here?
Well, I can tell you this from a perspective of somebody that likes to write. It's always more fun to rip on a movie than it is to praise it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm excited, I'm is equally excited to talk about something that I like. It's more, you can be more creative when you really hate something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like last time, I put the two videos out. I had Bad Boys 3, and then I had Doolittle. Doolittle was a terrible movie. Bad Boys 3 was great, which I always like it when the last movie I see is the good one, because then it's like the palate cleanser. Pete and I are always talking about that.
Yep.
We watched Breeze Feet, and then we decided to watch Hellraiser as a palate cleanser. That helped, because that's the only way I could have ever gone through that in the first place. But I did Bad Boys 3 first, because I thought, well, this is going to make all of the money this weekend. This is going to be the big movie, which it did. Like, in the box office reruns, it killed it. But more people still watch the Doolittle review. So YouTube is like the opposite of what goes on in Hollywood. It's like the bad movies get more attention on YouTube than they do at the box office.
Actually, I'm surprised the Bad Boys didn't get me. I think the only reason Doolittle might have got it, I think in this case, it might not even be because they want to see you watch the bad movie. It's because it's Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland back together. I feel like that's kind of because I feel like
holy fuck, I forgot that Tom Holland was in the movie.
Says the guy who saw the movie.
He was in Doolittle?
I watched the movie and I forgot that he's in that, because none of those animals have any kind of personality other than the trope that they belong to.
Won't know Norm Macdonald's in there like in the Eddie Murphy one.
I picked up on that. I picked up on John Cena as the polar bear, but I forgot that Tom Holland was the fuck, I don't even remember what animal he played now. The monkey? I think he was the monkey. Yeah, he was the ape. Yeah. He's an ape that's afraid of people.
He was the night monkey.
Like that that's how two-dimensional the characters are. It's like, here's a monkey that's afraid of people. Here's a polar bear that's always cold. Here's a dog that wears glasses because reasons. Here's a parrot that cuts people's hair. That's Doolittle. That's fucking nightmare. It's already one of the worst movies I've seen this year, and it's only January. That frightens me. I've seen 6 movies this month, and 3 of them are turkeys.
Ouch.
I didn't see every movie that came out this year, but of the 6 that I see, 3 of them are turkeys. I don't know if that's good or bad or just kind of down the road, but yeah. See, as you can see, I'm talking about the new movies, and now my viewers are dropping out, so we have to wrap it up here. But I'm going to plug tomorrow. If you guys join us, we're going to be watching Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. It's be me and Pete and Alex watching that. And then immediately after, we'll be doing Machine Girl. Alex, could you tell the audience what Machine Girl is about?
The Machine Girl is about this high school basketball player. She looks after her little brother, and her little brother gets killed by some bullies. And her bully, they just also happen to be the son of a Yakuza. So when the sister tries to get paid back, they cut her arm off. And she meets a scientist who gives her a machine gun for an arm. And that's pretty much all you need to know. She has a machine gun for an arm, and she's going to fuck people up with it.
Pull that up right now so we can see what we're talking about here. I'll also pull up Avocado so we can at least
It's very
preview them.
it's simplistic. It's very simplistic, but when you watch the movie, it's so over the top. Like, I'll describe the movie and be like, "That's it," but then you watch the movie and be like, "Oh."
The Machine Girl, is that the one we're watching?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
The
this is
Machine
right.
Girl,
This is
that's
the
the
right one
character.
here from 2008. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
5.9, huh, Alex?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
1.9.
Do we
Look,
have
man, it's
photos?
Asian
Okay.
cinema. You got to know what you're getting into when it comes to Asian cinema.
I don't
I'm talking
know.
about that's that obscure Asian cinema. Look, I could have threw Tokyo Gore Police on that. None of us would have survived that movie. Oh, come on, man. You about to get us in trouble. You want why got me upskirt shots?
No, this is IMDb. They can't show anything that's not allowed. But, like, they don't.
They just showed us boob cakes.
Well, they're not real boobs. It's a tray of boob props. See,
If you believe they're real, they're real.
I don't even want
If
to
you
know what's
believe
going on
you
in
can
this scene.
achieve.
I remember that scene.
My mind is going in strange places with
You'll
this,
find
this
out
picture
tomorrow.
right here.
You'll
Yeah.
find out tomorrow.
Oh,
I
okay.
will-
That looks interesting. All right. I can't wait to see what that's all about.
I will be here.
I was trying not to give any spoilers, but yes, there
No,
are
don't. Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
This is a preview of what we're going to be watching
Yeah.
live tomorrow. The only one that has seen this movie is Alex. The rest of us have no idea what we're getting into with this.
No. All you need to know is she's a girl.
All
You
right.
might want to stop clicking. You're about to give yourself some spoilers.
You have my interest. You have my interest.
You had my attention. Now
Because
you
there's
got
a whole
my-
lot I can say about this movie, and I'm trying not to say it. But
Nope,
if you
don't,
keep clicking
yep.
pictures, you might could have messed it up for yourself.
All right.
Fight the
So we'll
ninja.
leave it at that. So that's Machine Girl, and then we're going to watch Avocado, Jungle of Death, and that's as much I'm going to say about that one.
Both movies on YouTube if you want to join us.
Yeah, this is a free to watch. No requirements or rentals required. These movies are free on YouTube. You'll be watching them with us.
We have to keep them free. Pete can't afford a good streaming service.
So here is
That's
Cannibal
right.
Women.
Wait. Hey. I'm fucking. Yeah.
Stop looking at your Batwoman porn.
God damn it.
For those that are, new to stream parties or watch parties and the like, I always recommend if you have a gaming console or a smart TV to queue up the video on that and to watch the stream on your phone with one headphone in so you can listen to the TV and the stream at the same time.
Yes, that is the best way to do it. That's actually how I do it. So I'll have a headset on tomorrow so I can watch the TV. And then I'll monitor the chat through the telephone. But yeah, that'll all be through YouTube's.
It'll be fun. It'll be a fun time.
This
There's
look,
Bill.
this
There's
look.
Bill.
There's Bill Maher right here. This is back when he had like not white hair.
That's what a man looks like. That's peak performance right there. You may not like it, but that's peak performance.
This movie is actually cleverly written. Like the people that wrote the dialogue actually have a brain cell, and they just decided to hide it in a title like Cannibal Women and the Avocado Jungle of Death. And who can ever resist Adrienne Barbeau? She's adorable.
Nobody.
My favorite Catwoman. Actually, no, that's Michelle Pfeiffer, but I like Adrienne Barbeau too.
There she is. Drink it in, fellas.
Giggity.
Hmm.
Let's not forget Linnea Quigley.
Oh yeah.
It's not Linnea Quigley.
But she's in the movie.
Was she in the movie?
Isn't she in this one?
I don't think
Wait.
so.
No, she's not in this one.
Who am I
No.
getting mixed up with? I thought
Shannon
she was
Tweed.
Shannon
Yeah,
Tweed.
that's
That's
Shannon
what I was
Tweed,
thinking of.
man.
Okay, yeah. Linnea Quigley is not in Cannibal Women.
You need a history in Skinamax, son.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I outdate you on Skinamax, but okay.
And yet you thought that was Linnea Quigley, so clearly you don't.
Well, no, I thought she was in the movie. I thought she was in this movie. I meant to say Shannon Tweed. Fuck, I'm tired.
Yeah, you meant to say it. You meant to say it.
Oh, you're right.
He had to come correct on this one, didn't he?
Yep.
We ain't ashamed to admit we all grew up watching Shannon Tweed at 11 o'clock on Skinamax.
You know who else I grew up watching?
Thank you, Flair X. At least
Spider-Man.
somebody here is a believer of the Magic Christmas Tree.
I like Magic Christmas Tree, but I'll never sit through it again.
Yeah. It was okay.
until we
once.
watch
I
it
mean,
again
still
next
hurt.
Christmas.
Oh,
No,
God.
we'll do
Well,
different.
if I do watch it, I'm gonna need a whole lot to smoke and drink, like a lot. I remember I ran out of drinks for Unicorn Store. Remember, didn't I run out? I ran out like every time something bad happened, I was going to drink, and I ran out like the first 40
that
minutes.
kind of movie is something you want to have like a bomb shelter full of backup for something like
I did have a whole lot.
I had
ran
2/5
out
sitting
by
next to
40
me
minutes.
for that one.
Yeah. Like I was out, man. That movie killed me. Just like she killed that poor boy.
that movie beat me down, man. It definitely made my list last year of the worst.
Make my she shed.
Oh no.
We'll be doing the J. Jonah Jameson thing now.
What's the DCAU?
Although I'll say this, Unicorn Store better than Captain Marvel. It kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I made fun of that movie. Like Captain Marvel's just like, why is
Captain
this...
Marvel just makes you indifferent.
Yeah.
Oh,
This one, I can kind of poke fun at it.
Flair said, "You'll freak me out with the card." He's talking about my thumbnail for The Turning. I used the scene where the spider's coming out of Finn Wolfhard's mouth.
Oh,
yeah, that was
That's not
nasty.
in the movie. That scene ain't in the movie.
You just want to creep people out.
Yep, it's in the trailer, but it's not in the movie.
You ain't right, man. Jesus.
I put that on there because I realized that I could build a whole joke around that scene, and I did, and I'm kind of proud of it. I don't know if anybody else appreciates it. I mean, people are watching the video, so I guess it's okay. But yeah, I'm like, okay, so here's another classic example of a movie that's not representative of its trailer. Like, you know, that movie Rogue One, where there's scenes in the trailer that don't happen in the movie.
Oh, that was the first cut of Rogue One. That one we'll never see.
It's like you can't win. Either they give you a trailer where they show you everything in the movie that you would ever want to watch, like 1917, or they give you a trailer where there's scenes in the trailer that aren't even in the movie, like Rogue One and The Turning.
Gotta get that money.
DC animated universe.
Yeah, she was
animated. Okay, that's
animated.
She was Catwoman in the Batman animated series.
I've seen some of those, not all of them. Some of them are pretty good. I like the stories on some of them, but I don't watch all of them. I admit I don't keep up with it.
The hell is that one I got?
So are those animated ones connected as well, like an MCU type?
Well, when we say animated, we don't mean like the movies. We mean like just Batman the cartoon, Superman the cartoon, Justice League.
Okay,
that's where Adrienne Barbeau came from. She was Catwoman in the old Kevin Conroy cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. I apologize. Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't. Oh man, I don't watch the DC animated movies. Some of them are okay.
I got a couple of them. I got Flash. I really like Flashpoint.
Flashpoint's good. The ones that don't focus on Batman or the Damian saga, I don't need to see those. I'm sorry. What's his name? Jason O'Mara. Worst Batman ever. Worst one. I would pick George Clooney over Jason O'Mara.
Ooh, rough.
I would pick Val Kilmer over Jason O'Mara. No,
I didn't think Val Kilmer was that bad.
Has anybody seen that?
I don't know about that.
Batman Beyond, that series.
Oh, I love Batman Beyond.
I got a disc of there's like 14 episodes. Somebody got me for Christmas, and me and the boy watched. And I was like, man, that was really cool because that's where I first saw Magpie. Was right there.
Yeah,
in that show. But yeah, those are really dark and fucking cool. It was pretty. I don't know. Like I haven't really talked to too many people that have seen it, but those are pretty cool episodes. I dig them. It's got a nice dark tone to it. Not as good as the old Batman the animated series, but
it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was pretty good though.
Yeah, so I like the DC animated, like the TV shows. They were all, Batman was the best one, but they were all. I like Justice League. I like what was it, Static Shock? I forgot about Static Shock. That counted. Yeah, those were good. Like I said, though, when you get to like the animated movies, the Jason O'Mara Batman movies, like just go look up YouTube and people tell you like Jason O'Mara is a terrible Batman. He's the guy that thinks Batman has no personality. So this is how my Batman voice is. I am Jason O'Mara. I am truth. I am justice. I am the night. I am Batman.
This is terrible.
Me. Yeah, like his voice is so robotic. Like, contrary to what fanboys think, Batman does have a personality.
Yeah,
he does crack the occasional joke. He may not.
He's a human being.
Yeah. He's when fanboys ain't making him to Gary Stews or whatever. Like Batman has a personality. He's funny.
I too like the Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
I liked him in those video games too.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, did he get a raw deal in the Crisis?
Did he?
No, Brandon Routh got a raw deal in the Crisis.
Yeah, him too.
Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
He was supposed to.
Brandon
Yeah.
Routh has gotten a raw deal twice because
Yeah.
he's played one of the most coveted superheroes in history, and the movie and the TV show that he started in those roles. Even though I think he did a good job,
Oh yeah, he was great. The movie was terrible. He was great.
I
would've-
actually like Superman Returns. I confess, I like that.
Man,
movie.
I can't take it serious once I see Superman get his ass whooped by Kumar from White Castle. I kind of lose a little respect after that. I was like, is Kumar whooping his behind?
Is that in the TV show?
No, that was the movie. That was Superman Returns.
Because I remember Kevin Spacey beating him down. I don't remember the other guy.
No, Kumar did after he got
That
weak.
was-
Remember,
Kumar?
Kumar played one of. You remember he played one of Luthor's henchmen, and he
Oh,
beat
okay.
the crap out of
It's been a
Superman.
while since I've seen it. Yeah,
Yeah, I was sitting there, I was like, did Kumar?
I kind of liked it.
Man.
Yeah, I liked what it was trying to do. At least I don't think it really executed it very well, but I liked what it was trying to do. It was trying to be like a continuation of the.
But that's what it was.
Movies.
It's basically Superman 5.
The problem is the Donner movies went south after Donner left after the first movie, so there wasn't really any reason to go back to that saga because there was only like two.
I still like 2. I still like even Richard.
Well,
Richard-
2 is mostly Richard Donner, but he'd already been fired by the time that movie came out. But then you still have Superman 3 and 4, for which there's no apology.
Like I said, I don't mind. I'm gonna be honest. I did finally see the Richard Donner version of Superman 2. I do prefer the theatrical cut. I prefer, especially the ending. Donner's ending to Superman 2 was so stupid.
Agreed.
It's realistic, but it's stupid.
I have the Richard Donner cut. I'm not crazy about it.
Yes,
I've never been really that crazy about Superman 2 in the first place.
I love it. Superman until Man of Steel came. Superman 2 was my favorite Superman movie, so I do got some love for. Apparently, Zod is what it takes for me to love a Superman movie.
I guess I'm just it's my old age, man. I'm always partial to that. That first Christopher Reeve movie is always going to be my favorite. That was my introduction. So
I like the first one too.
Yeah.
I got all 4 of them now on. I got them on digital. I need to get them on Blu-ray.
I still think they can make another good Superman movie. They just have to get the right people working on it. That's part of the problem. They have to wait a while too, because I think problem is Superman just doesn't fit in this current like climate that we live in. Nobody wants a goody two shoes in this current climate.
Superman is great. The problem is Superman fans don't know what they want. They'll complain that they want Superman to be dark and edgy. So when they give him dark and edgy, they'll complain that they want the Boy Scout back. When they get the Boy Scout back, they'll complain that he's a Boy Scout again.
There's too many people that want Superman to be Batman, and I'm like, these are two completely different tonal characters, man. You
Every
can't mix
time
them.
DC's giving you that, they all complain about it. That's pretty much what the New 52 was. The New 52, if you boil it down, outside of Green Arrow, everybody was Batman. Everybody was Batman.
Well, Berlanti's talking about making that into a show.
What?
They're talking about doing the New 52 for the crossover next year or something like that.
Didn't they?
No, they haven't done it.
He's dead now. Although, what's his name? Dan DiDio. He's trying to bring it back. He's
Yep.
trying hard. Now that
Yes.
you got Jeff Johns out of the door, he's
Yeah,
trying
so
to.
they said they're possibly doing something with that for the crossover next year. Like,
Did anyone see the end to Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Nope. I watched 2 episodes of it and I was done.
I didn't watch it, but I did look up the spoilers to how it ended. I won't say anything till you see it.
All right.
I kind of want to discuss it, but when you do, I gotta
All
discuss
right. I'll watch it.
I'm not gonna watch it
CW.
because that's just painful to sit through a CW show. But I thought it was interesting.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and bring this one to a close because there's like 2 other major streams going on right now too that I kind of forgot about. We got Nerdrotic and who else is streaming tonight, Sal?
Oh, no one important.
No one important. Okay.
We're the important ones. Remember that. We are the alpha and the omega.
If you guys haven't done so already, go to Facebook. If there's movies that you want us to review specifically, we'll take those into consideration and post polls. The reason we did these this week is I didn't have time to make a poll of movies to choose from, so I just kind of went with whatever suggestions were thrown at us. And of course, whenever I have a special guest, which tonight was Sal of 2 Cent Toys, I let the guest pick at least one of the movies. So. Because I've got a whole list of stuff that I would love to talk about on the show, and it's only going to get better from here. So tonight's we're kind of short. Problem with short movies is that it doesn't give you a lot of stuff to talk about in the movie, so that's why we had a slightly shorter episode. But Sal, what do you got going on with 2 Cent Toys?
2 Cents Toys tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am going to live stream for probably about an hour-ish. And I'm going to knock out a couple of reviews on the live stream. Just stuff that I don't feel like doing a full video for, but something I'll just knock it out in the live stream. I've got a video going live tomorrow. I forget at what time, but I've got 7 videos being uploaded to be, released throughout the coming weeks. And that's about it. More or less. Well, actually, that's a lot. I'm not even close to caught up to where I need to be, but I'm slowly catching up on all my modern toys to where I can finally start talking about my vintage toys again. So.
And if you're wondering what those little figures are, because some people have been asking, those are our avatars. Those are representations of Pete and I and Sal.
Indubitably.
I'm the one with the fedora on. Pete's the one holding the brewski, and of course Sal over there in the red suit and beanie.
The Forbidden Planet. Love that movie.
So when we do our thumbnails for the boardroom, this is what we use. Oh, you like the Forbidden Planet? I have something to show you, sir.
For your convenience,
Yeah.
I am monitored to respond to the name Robbie.
I remember when I first found out Leslie Nielsen was in that movie.
There he is.
There it is.
Got
Didn't
2
they
of
use
mine.
that robot for something else too?
Fallout.
No, I mean another movie. That robot was in another movie.
I am to transport you to the residence.
He was in another movie. He was also in episode of The Twilight Zone, and I forgot the name of the movie. There's another movie he's in that Mystery Science Theater made fun of. I can't remember the name of it.
He showed up in 2 episodes of Star Trek, didn't he?
No, he was never in Star Trek.
I don't think he was in Star Trek.
There was
Welcome
some.
to Altair Hall.
Now it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to
I
look it
cannot
up.
think of it, but
For
there
your
was a.
convenience, I am monitored to respond to the name.
Forgot which
Oh,
button.
Yeah,
Which
there-
button makes him walk.
There was some TV show where I think maybe it was Lost in Space.
Yeah, Lost in
I think
Space
Lost
is a
in
very
Space.
similar robot,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's.
No, I mean like the Robbie actually showed up in 2 episodes of it. I think it might have been Lost in Space. There was some TV show where he made an appearance in 2 episodes, but for the life of me cannot remember what it was.
The Invisible Boy. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Maybe.
Welcome to Altair Hall, gentlemen.
I had to take mine out of the box. I couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it walked until I brought it home.
I am monitored to respond to the name.
Robbie.
That's great.
So, and for those curious, you can pick one of those up too at Walmart for $20. That is a hell of a.
I was
hell
gonna
of a
let
price
everybody.
tag.
I want everybody to think I had like a sideshow collectible over here or something. Now you make me look like a cheapskate. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, he showed up in the Addams Family and Columbo.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. He had a lot of cameos. He was built for
Yeah,
the movie,
Lost
but then he kind of existed as a just star by himself. So
Yeah, Lost in Space. He showed up to fight the actual the original robot on the show.
That's what it was.
Crossover.
how about you, Pete? What you got going on?
Oh, you know me. I'm always up to something. Well, I'll probably have maybe a video tomorrow. I don't know, but I'll be here tomorrow night for the watch party.
Yes.
And another Batwoman review will be ready for Sunday night for Monday
Yes.
morning, as I know people love those. I'm going to be like Salt Bay, sprinkling a little bit of Ruby Rose on it. I got to get that meme out Tony made for me. Just going like this. I'm sprinkling a little Batwoman on y'all. So I'll have that ready for that'll be the thumbnail for the next Batwoman review. And the ratings are in the tank for the show, but you know what? They're like, we're just gonna redo that shit through season 2. Fuck it, we don't care. We know there's this guy out there. He gets views off of it, so we're just gonna renew it right for him. Because yeah, we know him and Ruby are gonna end up together one day. So there's Bay. There. That's what I got going.
Okay, here's the difference between the two. Just wanted to show you guys, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Robbie the robot versus the one on the right is the one from Lost in Space. The one on the left is Robbie.
Robbie looks like he has anal beads for legs.
So they actually did have him in Lost in Space as a cameo. So, But both robots were built by the same person, so that's important to know.
That reminds me, I need to catch up on Lost in Space on Netflix.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, I think season 2 just came out.
I could not get into it, man. I could not.
I liked it. It's more serious than what the original one was.
I think part of my problem with that too, though, is I've just never been that big of a Lost in Space fan. I'm more of a Star Trek guy.
I like Lost in Space. I grew up liking it.
It's cool. Just never could get into it.
At least we both can agree on one thing. The Matt LeBlanc remake from the 90s sucked.
Oh my god. Dude, I went to see that at the movie theater thinking that maybe I thought that was maybe going to be one of those movies that took like kind of a dumb idea and expanded on it. Because they made that movie look like it was like this big grand thing. And it was just a really bad 2000s movie, man. Like early 2000s.
That was made in the 90s.
Oh my god, it was made in the 90s and it looked like it came out like it after
Titanic in the box office.
Oh, so bad. So bad. Yeah. Just
Titanic epic run came to an end by this movie.
That's one of those ones where the magazine spreads made it look like it was going to be a lot more ambitious than it turned out to be, you know.
Look at it though, you had fucking William Hurt, Mimi Rogers, Heather Graham, Lacey Chabert, Gary Oldman, Matt LeBlanc, Jared fucking Harris, dude. That guy is
Graham.
Lenny James.
Gary Oldman in that movie is embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing because I love Gary Oldman, but that fucking movie. Oh,
June Lockhart.
Anyways, we're losing fans like crazy. So
because we done told them like 20 minutes ago the show's over.
I better bring this to an end before I start losing subs. So anyways, we'll see all you guys tomorrow, same time for our watch party. Make sure you join that. We'd love to see you there doing our usual thing. And also, I promise I won't do any more Oscar speak on this channel. I'm done with that. We won't be streaming that either because nobody wants to see it. That's cool. Glad you let us know so that we didn't waste our time doing that so that nobody would watch us. So anyways, you guys have yourselves a groovy day. And this is the Groovinator signing out on behalf of Raiders of the Lost Flicks Live. Have yourselves a pleasant evening.
I got nothing.
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's dick.
He's a fraud. He's a criminal. He's a psychopath. Where's those pictures? Give them to me.
Start got him.
Well. Bye.
I'm gonna grow